Well, I'm back again with one of these. Um, number 3. Well, this is 2. Imagine number 3. Um, Today's topic. Um, well, I guess first I'll talk a little bit about what happened this week with me. I was able to, well, I haven't gotten any dental care yet, which sucks. Monday I went to go get an opinion from a dentist, and then Tuesday I went to get another opinion from a different dentist. And I did that because the first dentist told me that I was gonna need 3 root canals and it was gonna cost me $13,000, and I don't have that kind of money. And then the second dentist, she looked at my mouth. Well, she barely looked at my mouth. She saw the X-rays I got from the first dentist, and then she told me, you probably need root canal. And then after that, I was able to get an appointment with like a university dental school, and I found out that university dental schools are actually quite like they do a very thorough job, and they're quite affordable. So they did a thorough job. They don't think that I need a root canal, so I'm getting an evaluation tomorrow morning, and hopefully I don't need a root canal. I guess aside from that, I'll be taking a break next week, and I think maybe the week after I'll be gone for 10 days. I'll be out of state, so I won't be able to record one of these, but I still wanted to make one of these, and hopefully I continue doing this again once I come back, and that's the plan for now. But you never really know what's gonna happen. Today's topic. Let me get the camera. I don't want to move elsewhere. Today's topic, I wanted to talk a little bit about, I guess love, not in the like relationship sense necessarily, but like a love in the sense of, I don't know, everything. Oh, maybe this is a nice spot to have a camera. Yay. One of the fun things about Vrchat is just being able to do stupid things like this. So, yeah, this is a pretty nice world. Maybe I'll link it in the description if I remember to do so. But, yeah, love. That's a topic that everybody struggles with, and it's a topic I've been thinking about a lot this week, actually. Well, I guess it ties into, I've been sort of thinking about, like, after starting this video, I was thinking about, like, I'm thinking about my career and my future and stuff like that. But, like, what really matters in life, right? And for me, something that really matters to me are the people. And, I strongly believe that if it weren't for the people in my life, I wouldn't be where I am right now today. And so I think in some ways I need to attribute that to, love as general. Because, there's a lot of people who they have a lot of people in my life have shown me kindness and love, and I think that's how I'm able to be where I am in life. And I wouldn't be who I am without all the people that are supporting me, or that have supported me in the past. And there's a lot of weird things I think about. Now that I'm trying to talk about it, it's a little difficult. I guess we could start from the beginning, right? Parental, family. I think when you're born, a lot of people, well, when you're born with, by the help of your parent, your mother, really. And as you grow up in life, your mother's supposed to be the one who supports you and always rooting for you. And I think my mother has always tried to root for me and be supportive of me in the ways that she could be. But of course, like, if it was as simple as that, life would be so much easier for so many people involved. But then think about, like, there's a lot of things that your family does that hurts your feelings or disregard your feelings. And I think something that a lot of people I've known, at least, struggled with is, like, when your parents are like, no, you can't do this because I know what's best for you, and that's horrible. And sometimes it's a lot more obvious, other times it's a lot more subtle. For example, my mom never really supported me in wanting to do like art or like content creation or stuff like that. Rather, she always told me like, wow, that's good, but she would never like whenever I would be really into it, she would always be like, oh, like that, like you could be using this time doing something else or something like that. And stuff like that sticks quite a bit. And this sort of affects a lot of other things too, where it's like there's something I want to do, something I want to pursue, or maybe there's a person I want to pursue. Something I struggled with previous relationships was that after a certain time of meeting someone, my family would always be like, oh, so when are you going to meet the next person? Sort of insinuating that I should throw away that relationship and gain more experience and things like that. And I know that that comes from a good place. My family doesn't have very good track record with marriage and romance and stuff like that, so I can't really blame them for the way that they feel. And so love in the sense of a romantic partner became a very material concept in my head. Because I was raised like that, I think whenever I think of love, I think of what can this other person provide me. And as a result, I started thinking of myself the same way, where I would wonder what kind of value can I provide towards a person. And this was very prevalent in how I interacted with my family. I know my family loves me, but there were often times where I felt that they didn't, or I felt that I wasn't deserving of anything because of the fact that I felt like I had nothing to offer. And this eventually bled into my friendships and my relationships, where I feel often inadequate if I can't offer something to someone. And I think a lot of people sort of feel that way too, I think, when they're grown up with this kind of idea that things should be transactional. But I don't necessarily think that things should be transactional. Well, for example, with friends, it's like I'm not expecting anything out of my friends. A lot of my friendships, I never really expect anything out of my friends. I just like to spend time with them and hang out with them and stuff like that. So in that front, I guess I never really struggled too much with my friendships. But like when it comes to things that are, I guess, close friendships or like family members or romantic relationships, there are often times where I'm not quite sure if I'm providing enough to be loved back, which is actually pretty stupid when I think about it, because the whole point of loving someone and to be loved is to embrace all the bad things with them. You know what I mean? If you wanted something to be perfect all the time, that wouldn't be love. You wouldn't be embracing the other person for their struggles and their negativities. And like when I see my family, even though they always say that you should always do things that provide value, whenever someone does do something negative or hurtful, they're able to forgive and move past it. And sometimes it's not satisfying, but I guess that's what love is, right? If you're so quick to turn on people because you disagree with them over one thing, then you would be with nobody. You would have nobody in your life. Life is about making compromises with the people that you love and to, embrace them for who they are. And that's something that I want to work with on myself. it's funny because when I think about myself, I think about myself from like an objective perspective. From, if I had to remove all the feelings I had towards myself, I would say that I'm very impressive in this fact that like I come from a background that essentially we didn't have very much, but I was able to, sort of make a life for myself. I was able to graduate college, and now I have a job that's pertaining to my degree, and that's a very difficult thing. And I recognize how lucky I am to have what I have. And I'm moved out. I'm living on my own. I've got 2 cats. I like to imagine that I'm not a bad friend. Uh, I try to align myself with good morals. I guess the one thing is that I don't particularly. Well, I guess I have to detach myself from my feelings about myself. But I don't think I'm like, I don't have a lot of glaring negative things, I don't think. But it's weird to say that out loud, because when I say that out loud, I feel really full of myself and kind of cocky, because how I really feel about myself is completely different. But if I were to just take those traits and think about the fact that I was able to come this far, like I do provide quite a bit of value to people, and not even like monetarily, but also just like emotionally. I think I bring quite a bit to a lot of my friends, in the sense that I like to ask questions and I like to be introspective, and I try not to be judgmental, even if sometimes I feel like people should be judged for the things that they like. I try really hard not to be judgmental, because like people are different, and different circumstances make it so people want different things in life. And just because I don't understand that doesn't mean that I should scrutinize them. And that's sort of my perspective on a lot of different things, right? It's like I'll play a game and I'll think that game is awful, but if my friends like it, then they like it. And I'm not gonna sit there and be like, oh, you like a poopy butthole video game, like you're cringe or whatever, because people like things. I mean, for frick's sake, I'm like literally on Vrchat talking to this freaking virtual like little camera thing, and I'm just gonna upload this video on YouTube because I'm cringe. But we all have different ways of like dealing with our cringe, is basically what I'm trying to say. Yeah. Despite all that though, it's hard to feel like you're deserving of things. But then, what does it mean to be deserving of something? I think everybody deserves to be loved for what they are, who they are. Even if that entails bad things. Even if that means that, like, you're hurting people. I would prefer that people wouldn't be hurtful to others. I don't think it makes anybody any less deserving of love. Because at the end of the day, being loved is about being accepted. I think there are things that people do that are maybe not, lovely, but I think people themselves mostly deserve to be loved. And I don't know. I don't really know where I was going with this, but I don't know. Maybe I deserve to be loved too. It's kind of funny saying that out loud, because like there shouldn't be such thing as deserve to be loved. We should all be loved, and it's okay to have flaws. It's okay to have bad days. It's okay to be frustrated and angry and be negative on the world, but that doesn't mean that you're any less deserving of love, because at the end of the day, we all need somebody to be there. And yeah, I don't really know where I was going with this. You deserve to be loved. It's really easy to say things like that. I know I struggle with it. There's a lot of things I struggle with because there are times where I feel like I'm not quite appreciated, and there are times where I feel like, you know, things are hopeless and that nobody could possibly like me. But I think it takes a lot to make somebody like truly dislike you. Alright. I think that's where I'm gonna end this today. It wasn't really much about me, but I don't know. That's something I've been kind of thinking about all week. I just wanted to talk about it a little bit. Alright. Thank you guys for hanging out again. And I hopefully see you guys again sometime in a couple weeks.